trying.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome into another episode of Smitty Snippets. Got a pretty good show for y'all today. We'll be talking about some news with the crew. How y'all doing tonight, man? Y'all doing all right?
Amazing.
Doing good.
How are you?
Good.
Look at that. Look at the enthusiasm. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody ready to go. I like it. So, what we got going on tonight, crew?
We got a lot of things to discuss this evening. We're going to start with Sinners. As we know, Sinners was released in the theaters on April 18th, has grossed over $200 million in North America, and is on track to gross at least $330 million worldwide. However, the city of Clarksdale, Mississippi, which the movie is set, has no movie theater, which means the locals are unable to enjoy the film without traveling with what residents refer to as, quote, miles. So it's not defined, but you can only guess.
What?
This comes after local activist Tyler Yarborough wrote a letter to Coogler and asked actor Michael B. Jordan, along with the rest of the cast, asking that they visit. There have been several discussions with top executives at Warner Brothers asking that the mayor with them bring a potential screening to the area, but there are no concrete plans at the moment.
I'm sorry. Where on earth is this?
In Clarksdale, Mississippi.
They don't have no movie theaters in Clarksdale? What they been doing before this movie came out?
No, they said they had a theater, but they were renovated into, they're either defunct now or they were renovated into other things. So yeah.
Oh,
All right. I would need to know how many miles is miles. Are they talking?
Right.
I would be curious to whether they talking, hey, to go to the movies, we got to crowd 25 miles through a minefield and some mud slides to get to a theater, or is it
I need
just
to know
like
what you've been doing
I
before
live
this.
4 miles away from a theater and that seems inconvenient to me. I kind of don't want to do that.
Right.
So that would be one. It would be nice if they really don't have a theater that's high. If everybody the studios got together and did a screening, it's definitely good PR. Warner Brothers need all the help and PR they can get at the present time. So that would be nice, but I'm going to need to know how far is the closest theater from where they are.
See,
right.
Because
Yeah. And again, that wasn't
type of towns be
defined.
doing amphetamines because they ain't got nothing else to do.
Jeez,
them the type of towns. That's the amphetamine town. Yep.
All right. Well, again, they didn't specify.
Like, you got cable TV.
We gonna get us a movie
You
theater
got a
someday.
theater somewhere.
They didn't specify. Yeah, they didn't specify how far miles or what miles was defined as, but I'm guessing that it's.
Wait, what?
So the residents, the only thing that they said was that they had to travel miles, quote miles.
Oh, I see what
to
you're
get
saying.
to the nearest theater, but they didn't define what that looked like. So I'm guessing
that
it's.
Saying you didn't know how far a mile was. I'm sorry.
Are you?
Continue.
Bro, honestly, I can't even.
My bad.
So
Keep going.
I would think I am hoping that for something like this, for their town or city or what have you to be highlighted in a film that's been so successful, I would hope that they are able to, like you said, get the public screening there so that they can enjoy the film like everybody else has been able to do. So
that would be a typical Warner Brothers move, though, is to set up the screening, tell all of the people, and then charging them $10 a ticket for that screening because it's like we need to get that box office money. So it's like you set up the screening. So like I could easily see Warner Brothers doing some nonsense like that. It's like I could like the Warner Brothers now. I don't put nothing past any of these studios now. So it was like, we set it up, but we made it $5 so they could come see it and everybody could come out because we still trying to get that box office up.
What they look as being as inexpensive, right?
Exactly. Like not
Mhm.
doing like a free screening would do the right thing to do for the PR purposes and everything else. But I would
Mhm.
not trust Warner Brothers to go ahead and do that.
Mhm.
So like for me, I'm curious. Like I want them to set up a screening. I hope it's free. But if they ended up saying that they charged them anything for it, I would not be surprised.
Smitty, any final thoughts on that?
I just want to know what this town was doing before this movie came out. Just like what do they have? Do they
They
have
were
like
either
they got like a
they
blockbuster? What's going on in this
Like what
town?
was the last movie? What was the last
Yeah,
movie in that theater that was renovated? What was the last movie they saw? Rocky 2?
you just
oh my
now asking for a theater? What y'all be
they
doing on
were
Friday nights, man? Huh? In
they
this
were
town?
either traveling the miles or they were waiting for it to come out on streaming, I presume.
No,
All
they
right,
was sailing the high seas watching stuff. That's how they was
Oh
doing it.
my
kicking rocks, waiting for the movie to come out.
goodness. All right, moving on to something that I think the two of you would like. X-Men. Thunderbolts director, now famed Jake Schreier, is being considered to marshal in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's New Age of Mutants. This was after Ryan Coogler was approached for the same gig. Sources are saying that Coogler wasn't able to commit due to his timing with Black Panthers 3. I'm just as a side
What?
note,
There's a oh no, there's a third Black Panther.
so we'll come back to that.
Coming for you, Smitty. It's coming.
We'll come back to that. Schreier, having proven himself when it comes to putting together a new team of superheroes with the both critically and commercially acclaimed Thunderbolts movie, or using the new proper title, The New Avengers. Schreier has shown to be an early favorite to direct MCU's first X-Men movie. Some outlets are actually reporting that he will indeed be the director, citing that he has turned down several high-profile jobs. Reportedly, some of the actors to play in this are Ayo Adebre. She's going to play Storm. Hunter Schafer is going to play Mystique, and Javier Bardem will play Mr. Sinister.
I like Javier.
So based on one, I guess, Smitty, we have what you think. I'm guessing what should they have pushed back X-Men to accommodate Cooliger, since we've all waited a good minute for the film. But also based on what I guess Schreier's been able to accomplish with Thunderbolts. What are your thoughts about him being the director and the three, reported actors that are supposed to be Smitty in this new X-Men film?
Um, I don't. First of all, I don't know who Ayo is. That's number one.
That's the young lady off of the
With the bear,
cookie.
right?
Yeah, the bear. Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Anybody can do anything with X-Men. I'd be happy with that. X-Men has been an entire a bucket of ass since it's come out, and the only one who's been good was been Wolverine, and they can't seem to give a job to anybody else, to any of the other X-Men, except Professor X, who they did a remarkable job with in Wolverine's last movie. Not his last movie, the one where he was Old Man Logan. They did a
Hmm.
really good
Hmm.
job in that. But other than that, man, they just it's like Fantastic Four. They don't quite know what to do with those characters, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'd like to see somebody do something with them and kind of give them new life. So
Well, that's theoretically why they're bringing him on, is to make it, is to as you say, breathe new life to it, to make it better than what it has been as of late.
I
Casanova,
like
what do you?
Bardem. I like
Yeah.
Bardem. He was the bad pirate in the last Pirates of the Caribbean
Okay. Well, how
movie.
long ago was that? Like,
I mean, we are a movie
I mean, if
channel,
that's your point of
so
reference. Okay. Casanova,
move on.
what's your point of view on that?
Um, For me, it depends on what they actually do with the X-Men. It's like
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna mine from some of the recent comic stuff, then I would be excited for it because most folks that like say like you and maybe Smitty would not be familiar with the story piece that they would be taking, so that would be brand new.
Easy.
If they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
go to the same old, which is they're feared and hated, and it's like we're gonna spotlight Wolverine again because everybody likes him. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that's the move. So I would think they would need to do that. And then depending on the characters, that's a whole
Mm-hmm.
nother thing. It was like I think AO might be too young for me to play Storm, like depending on what direction they're going or how they would
Mm-hmm.
be telling the story. I
Mm-hmm.
would think that some of the core cast that you have seen should probably be cast not by old actors, but older, more adult. And then you cast some other folks as X-Men that you hadn't seen on screen before, just to probably breathe new life into it. But like I said, it all depends on how you're placing them in your rebooted universe, which I'm assuming is going to happen after Secret Wars stuff.
Right.
So depending on how that story and plot comes out, I'd be
Mm-hmm.
interested. If they do the Krakoa stuff from the comics, I'd be right there watching that because you could easily get 3 movies out of that. Actually, messy. But
Nerd.
if we're going to just
I'm just
do,
kidding.
oh,
I'm just kidding.
it's like, oh yeah, it was like with that stuff. It was like I was reading that, and that shit was good. But other than that, like if you could do the same old stuff where here's some Sentinels and here's Mr. Sinister, that's different. But it's like it'd be close to the cartoon and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
like it's like
Universe
we'll see. As
says
far as who, what's up, Smitty?
no. I was just reading I'm just reading a comment. Go ahead. I thought you were done. Go ahead. My bad.
Oh no. So like I'll be curious on where they place them, what characters they used, and all that other stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll be excited
So
for it. Like
would you expect, so it sounds like you would expect, and Smitty, see if you agree, that you would hope for an expanded cast or an expanded, like how they always had in the original X-Men's or whatever, they showed you more of the, I guess, junior people that were involved, but they never were involved in any of the takedowns that occurred, right? They were just like background extras, we'll say.
So I've never been one to really care on who was in it, right? I've never
Mm-hmm.
cared about the characters or whether they're female or male or any of that shit. I feel like if your movie is good, everything else will take care of itself, right?
Right.
Just
Mm-hmm.
make it good. It doesn't matter if it's 12 people or if you find a way to incorporate 12 heroes in a movie, then you've done your job, right? But if you've
Mm-hmm.
got out of 12 heroes, you break them off and into fours, and you you got the rest of them doing nothing, then you
Right.
wasted the movie. So I just I just if you make a good movie with a good plot, you don't
Right.
have to worry about anything else. Everything else will fall into place. So hopefully they just make a good movie and
Okay.
focus on that, and everything else will be fine.
Okay. Well, all right.
yeah,
Well,
People don't know
just
how to
just
do
like
that kind
you're
of shit,
saying,
so they probably gonna
well,
mess it up.
no, their expectation is because they're supposedly tapping this gentleman who was able to, because as I said before, I did not have high hopes for Thunderbolts. I just didn't.
Me neither.
So right. So but he was able to, and Casanova knows, like I was, texting him after I saw it multiple times how impressed I was with the movie. So if he's able to pull that rabbit out of the hat again, I is their expectation, then
yeah, like
kudos.
I would say, keep the core cast relatively small,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 6, 7 characters, and
Mm-hmm.
then for me personally, I don't want to see the same characters that have
I was
been
just about
in the
to ask
last
you
2
that.
X-Men movies that
Mm-hmm.
you've done. It was like a couple of them, fine. You might be forced to like, all right, well, we got to put this guy in there. We got to put this.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see something different, like just some
Mm-hmm.
different characters on screen for a change. And then it's like, when you do whatever sequels you're going to do, you can expand or change that roster or do whatever you need to do. But
So
I
who
would
would
just
you
want to see
swap out?
some different.
Who would you swap out?
I definitely want to see Rogue, and I want to see the Rogue that ganked Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel for her power set. So I want to see her.
Mm-hmm.
Give me I would take Shadowcat. Give me Ninja Shadowcat in there. I'll take that. Who else? It was Colossus would be good just for have him show up. That would be nice to have
Colossus has
him
been in.
as a
He's
character.
been in. He's been in one or
There's
two.
different,
Colossus has been in one or two.
yeah.
Well,
So it's
Jubilee,
he was
huh?
he was in the second movie for 2 minutes. Yeah, Jubilee would be good too. It was I would like
No,
to see
Jubilee would
Jubilee.
not
She'd
be
be
good. She
good
got
for
firecrackers
her
coming out of
comic
goddamn
relief.
hands. Nobody wants to see that. I was joking. Nobody wants to see Jubilee.
I would take Jubilee. Yeah, I would take Jubilee. That was you can dust off Gambit and throw him in there. It's that would be
I do
fine.
like Gambit.
But Rogue would be Rogue would
Jubilee.
be the big one. That would be
All
the
right,
one
well,
that I would like to see the most.
Smitty, who would you swap out? Who would you prefer to see?
Probably the more powerful ones. I cannot believe you just said Jubilee. In fact, if I was running the school and Jubilee showed up to that school, I can do stuff, I'd be like, no, you can't, sweetie. You're just good at parties. You can go. You can go. We take heroes here. All right, not party tricks. I can't believe they let her on the team. You know what I'm saying? She got a yellow shirt and just stick her hands out and firecrackers come out. How do you figure? How you figure you need to be on a superhero squad doing shit like that? I'm just saying. But yeah, I digress.
Okay, all right.
The crew that they had was pretty good. I've never been a fan of Cyclops. I thought he looked stupid. He wore all that gear just for something to come out his eyes. It just seemed like a lot. And he was
Still
wearing
has
bright
to
colors
protect
too.
his vital organs. My
Nah,
God.
he was wearing a lot of stuff. He was wearing a lot. Rogue is good. Phoenix, they did pretty good.
Didn't they end
Wolverine,
her story?
they've done a really good job. I wish they had put them in their costumes. I realized that they thought that they had no real way to show off the characters in their real costumes, but they didn't know that everybody wanted to see them in their real costumes. You're trying to tell a story about superheroes without them being in their superhero costume. It just kind of made everybody mad. So I'm not mad at the lineup. Lineup is good. I like to see more Sabretooth and Wolverine, like a real fight.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything else is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sabretooth would be good to have a proper fight with Wolverine if you was going to have him in there. So that would be cool. Phoenix, I disagree on. It's I think they botched her up. It was and then it's if they had her as she is, it's she's washing everybody anyway.
Well, that's what. So
but I
she
don't know.
didn't.
It's I'll be curious. I'd be curious to see what lineup they end up actually picking and going with for all of this.
Okay. All right. Very quickly, we're just going to touch on Andor. Keep in mind, guys, first, we'd like to ask if you wouldn't mind to take the time to like, share, subscribe. Also, Andor, this will be the final week for season 2. The 3 episodes will drop tonight. But Andor season 3, there will not be an Andor season 3. Apparently, despite the creator Tony Gilroy originally pitching the show with more seasons in mind, Gilroy is being lauded for creating an adult-oriented Star Wars TV series, but also for what is being called one of the most impactful Star Wars stories of all time. The series visits the cost of revolution and the consequences of oppression. It's being hailed as a masterclass in writing, production, acting, and editing. It's obvious that they want a good show, that viewers want the show to continue, but Andor season is the end. It wasn't always supposed to be, but Gilroy changed his mind during production for season 1. So I guess with that, the question, I'll pose it to you first, Smitty. How do you expect the last 3 episodes of season 2 to move along tonight? Do you think it'll be rushed to get to how the Rogue one, will it be seamlessly done? And would you have preferred more seasons?
No, I mean, he's been a spy. They've done the spy thing to death. Andor's been pretty good. I've
Right.
never seen anyone portray the Empire in this way, like in a
Mhm.
smart logistical way. They've
Mhm.
actually made steps to make this not stupid. You know,
Mhm.
me bad guy want to take over entire universe. Like they've made it better than that, and I'm glad they did that. Like they actually get to show like how people were afraid of the empire
Mhm.
and how they had to adjust. Now, there were certain things that the empire did. I'm like, come on, bro. Like no one, you know, they were like Germans. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, they was doing a whole
Mhm.
lot of stuff. That's how they were portrayed in this. But the overall story was very good. Now, just like last season, this season started out kind of slow, and I got worried, but then it started to pick up. You know, it was a little bit too much politics, but it was setting up a lot, and I enjoy it so far. I mean, I don't know how it ends. I just I don't want to see anymore. I don't want to see any more Andor. Like we've done this. We gonna do more politics
So
after this?
you've had your fill. Like you don't see the capability of it going beyond what it is so far to get it to the beginning of Rogue One. Like you're good with where it is right now.
Like I'm sick of you know me. I'm sick of
Yeah, I
prequels
know.
and
Yeah.
afterquels. I'm sick of those. Okay, or sequels. I'm just
All
tired
right.
of those. Like there's no I forget what you would call it.
The story can
There's
only go
nothing.
so far because you
You're
know
not
where it's going to
right,
be.
right. I know you're not
Right.
gonna die. Right. So when I
Right.
put you in a situation where you're like, oh, and then tune in next week. I know you're not dying. You know what I'm saying? I know you're not
Right.
dying. I saw you in a movie. I paid for it. Like I know you. I know you were gonna be fine. So I
Mhm.
don't like those. So I hope they don't do another one. Just
All
move
right.
on. Make another Star Wars thing. You know.
I don't think they know how to because the imagination just I honestly just don't think that the imagination is there. But
But they have so many stories, especially like on the video game stories. They've done so many of the PC games. They've told stories about twins that were Jedi and they were trying to appease their father or something like that. And a little girl who was a Jedi and she was very strong and they tried to
mhm.
take her and train her in the ways of the dark side and all this other stuff. You got stories there, right? Leave Luke alone. Let him die. Let him go. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying? Just let him go.
Mhm. All right. Well, Casanova, what's your take on it?
I agree with Smitty. The problem with like a lot of prequels are it's like, you're telling this story, but then I've
Mhm.
seen Rogue One already, so I know who makes it and who doesn't. So it's the
Mhm.
characters that you've introduced in Andor. It's almost like, all right, so what his wife or girlfriend side piece, she dipped out, and it was like, you got old man that was like giving him the orders. What happened to him? It was like, what happens to a lot of other characters and where the story goes. So
Right.
like if I was gonna do a prequel, I'm gonna probably tell a story where you don't know who any of these characters are
Exactly.
and you have no idea what happens to them because they're all fresh. So it was like that is a weakness of a lot of prequel stuff.
Mhm.
But and then also Smitty hit the point. There's been video games, books, and everything else that they've told stories of characters that they've introduced with no idea what they are. They might have seen, oh, there's Luke Skywalker. He's running down the street chased by stormtroopers. I messed up for that guy. And then that's all you would see. You would see nothing else. And they were just told this other story. So with those other characters, you can push them forward to where you want to push them forward. You can kill them and whatever thing it is, but it was something new. And I think the problem with Star Wars and a lot of other stuff is they're afraid of new stuff because
Mhm.
if fandom or everybody rejects it, then it's like, hey, we
Right.
tried something new. And it's like, hey, Alkali,
Right.
you're canceled. You're never getting another season. And
Mhm.
then it's like, it's like you run into that problem. So I
Mhm.
think it's more craft your story. And after you've crafted it, not that you need to run it by some folks, but actually see, are we repeating the same mistakes that we did when we tried to do this other new thing?
Mhm.
Because the whole thing with the Star Wars High Republic stuff, that was a good idea. It was new. Here's a characters you ain't never see, but
Right.
because the act like fell on his face so far, you'll probably never see any of that stuff again,
I would
which
prefer
is kind of sad.
I personally would prefer if they tried something new. Right? Like you guys have been saying, like, give me something new to look forward to. Granted, I mean, not everything's going to be a hit, right? But at least let's try and move the story forward or out or something. Like I'm like you guys, I'm sick of the same old, right? So give me something to look forward to. Give me someone to root for that I don't know whether or not they survive for the next episode or the next movie or whatever. Just give me something to be like, oh, dog, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, my boy Dieter says they know they need to do some of the Old Republic lines. Yeah, the Old Republic. I think that was the one that I was referring to. Like,
mhm.
and I don't know if all those stories connect, but those stories are fantastic.
Well, why don't you
And for
write
them not to
Hollywood and be like,
for them
hey,
not to touch that is just for them not to touch that is just a waste. Like I can't imagine an easier story to tell. It's good versus bad. And the bad guys wear black. It's in space for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? You could literally close your eyes and just point to a story. It doesn't even like it's so easy. How do you mess this up? How? How do you mess it up? It's just ridiculous, man.
but I think the issue is they have the formula, right? They have the formula that they already know that people will pay for this set formula. So why tinker with it? Why not just go ahead and get something where we know we can make money on versus something where it's a toss up? So that just goes to the laziness right now that I feel like is just in a lot of stuff that's happening right now in Hollywood. But you know, whatever.
That's
Um,
why you get all of the sequels and stuff.
right, right, exactly. Excuse me. We're gonna move on to what I expect to be a
You about to say something dumb, ain't you? I can tell. I can tell by your face. You about to say something stupid. I can
no,
tell.
no, no. So Smitty, you are a Philadelphia Eagles fan who recently that team won the Super Bowl. And Casanova, you are a Dallas Cowboys fan. So right now, with the recent release of the 2025 NFL season schedule, those two teams are set to face off September 4th for the first game of the regular season. So I'm just curious, Casanova, we will start with you. What do you think about, since those are rival teams, as we know, what do you expect? We'll say, what do you expect um, with any? I don't know what roster changes the Cowboys have had so far getting prepared for this season. What do you expect to happen with that first game?
It's like nothing. It was like they're gonna play that game. It was like probably lose. Look unprepared, and yeah, it was like I don't have no big expectations for them. It was like I figure maybe they'll go 10-7, maybe 11-6, get to the first round of the playoffs barely, get kicked out, and it'll be more of the same because Jerry's crazy. It was like he don't know what he's doing. Jerry Jones wants so much credit for building a team that he won't let anybody do anything
Mhm.
because he just wants to be seen as somebody that's like, oh yeah, it was like thanks Jerry because you helped build the Super Bowl. I was like, if Jerry just shut up, sign some checks, and let other people run the franchise, they probably wouldn't be as sad as they are. So it'd be nothing. I'll turn on the game, watch it, fall asleep in front of it, turn away from it if it gets too bad. And it was like a keep it moving. So yeah, I don't have no expectations or high hopes as it stands right now. I don't expect Dak Prescott to be there after this season. They'll be starting and rebuilding again. So yeah, no. It was like it's just we're playing the Eagles and they open in the season because the Cowboys been trash. So it's like, well, I as well put them up in the
Oh,
season. There's no reason, there's no sense to build it up and build up this rivalry.
okay.
So it's like, unless they bookend in it where it's like they open the season against the Eagles and close the season against the Eagles, but when they release the schedules tomorrow and stuff, I was like, we'll see where everything else falls out. But since the Cowboys have been nothing to speak of for the last 20 years or so,
Mm.
it was like, yeah, I'm surprised they're not sending them to Brazil to play some games or something.
Oh, all right.
So, yeah,
Well,
no,
dog,
I don't care.
Smitty. Oh, all right. Well, Smitty, very quickly, since what do you expect with the first game of the season being against Dallas?
We're gonna bust their heads to the white meat, and then that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it, to the white meat, and that's it.
That oh, okay. All right, guys. Well, there you go. The football wrap up for the NFL season. All right, busting heads to the white meat, and all right, Smitty. I think you're gonna really like this one because you kind of referenced it a few weeks ago with Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Yes.
Yes, it will be in theaters May 23rd. Word on the street is, Smitty, I think you'll really like this. Professional stunt people thought one of Tom Cruise's stunts in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning could not be done, but he still managed to pull it off. Quote, they said, "What do you want to do?" And Tom said, "I want to be between the wings of the plane, holding on to the tension wires, and I want to be in 0G between the wings." And the wing walkers who do this for a living said, "That will never happen. You can never do that." And Tom said, "All right, well, thank you very much for your time." Professionals told them that his idea could not be done, and they weren't just talking about Cruise doing it himself. The professionals didn't think anyone could do it, let alone film it. So, Smitty, since you've talked about Tom Cruise and him doing his own stunts, being able to pull that off before, how impressed are you, or are you impressed by him not only envisioning this particular stunt, but being able to pull it off when professionals were saying that it cannot be done, as well as his dedication to the film? What does that say to you about him? And are you more excited to see the scene being pulled together completely that was just outlined?
I respect Tom Cruise. I can't wait to see the movie, but he's an idiot.
Why?
He's a jackass.
Why?
I mean, I want to be between two wings. I want a plane to run over me. That's what I want.
Oh,
I'm just saying, like, what are we doing at this point? Huh? Tom? You in your 60s, man. You ain't got nothing to prove. You need to knock this shit off. You got kids, man. You got kids, man. You got to stop this. I want to be between two wings. Why? For what? Why you need to do this? You making movies. That's all you doing. You making movies. All right. You don't have to do this. You've jumped off of stuff. You jumped onto stuff. You don't have to do this, man. You've ridden motorcycles. He just broke his ankle. I don't know if you saw that.
No,
Jumping from one building to another. His dumbass planted his
Again?
foot on the building as he grabbed onto the building, tore all of that mess, all of it, Achilles, all of it.
Oh.
And he had to get up and run on it, pretend like it was fine. Like, it just.
He did that again? Because it's like he broke it on one of the other movies. So he broke the left, now he had break the right, so you have a match.
Yeah, he did it in this one. He did this with it. I just don't know why you have to do this. Like, why do you have to commit this side trying to do these movies? Like, what? I don't understand, dude. You're the 63.
But I thought I could promise I heard you only a few short weeks ago saying how impressed you were by him being so dedicated to performing his own stunts.
It's impressive. It's impressive. But if I go to you and I'm like, listen, I want to do a movie. I want to do a movie, right? But this is what I want to do. I want to stick my head in a shark's mouth. Can we do it? Can we do it for the movie? I want it to look real. So I want to stick my head in a real shark's mouth. Does that make sense? Does that type of shit make sense? Like, all right, Tom, weirdo. Go ahead.
Oh,
Does that what does that say to you? Does that say respect or does it just say stupid? Right?
Well,
He needs a counselor is what he
well,
needs and
I
some
was about
time
to,
off.
I was about
He
to
needs
say
some leave.
it's been apparently said allegedly in the industry that he is like an adrenaline junkie. So,
Yeah, but where do you
you know.
stop? Where do you stop? Where does it become ridiculously dangerous? I want to be trapped between two wings? Well, why?
All right. Casanova, what do you think about it?
Think Nina has a point saying Tom been crazy since he jumped on Oprah's couch. I think that was his
Yes.
first taste of the adrenaline.
Yes.
And then I think also that he sat down with somebody. He was like, "Oh, what you doing?" "Oh, I'm just gonna watch this Jackie Chan movie, Police Story." And then it was like, "Oh, I don't never heard of that." And he sat down and he saw Jackie Chan sliding down a bunch of lights that was on, and he was getting electric shock that he slid down, and he went on a quest to watch every Jackie Chan movie he could. He saw him running down the side of a building, them chucking real axes at his face, him on fire 4 times, him almost dying several times. Tom was like, "Yeah, I can do that too." And then it's like, and that's what his quest was. So like, yep, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do my own stuff because ain't nobody else in Hollywood doing this in America. Jackie Chan not going to be the only one doing this over in
There's a
China.
reason
I'm
for
going to
that.
do this. They're going to see my movies too. And I think that's where some of this stuff came across.
I'd have
So
watched
like,
it
and
anyway,
he's
Tom.
doing them,
I'd have watched
and
it anyway.
they insuring him, and it's like, all right, but he's fucking. It's like, I think that he needs to calm down.
Yeah, but
I think he
so
needs to calm down.
but now when you go to see the film and the movies and you see that scene come together, aren't you going to be like, there you go, Tom. Good job, buddy.
No, nobody's gonna care.
I'm
No
gonna
one.
sit there and
No one.
say like, oh wow, it was like, well, that was good for him, but I don't care. It
Yeah,
was
nobody
like
cares.
the
They're not gonna be
movie
like,
is like,
stop the
all right,
movie. Everyone. Everyone.
yeah.
Tom did his own. He did his own stunt. Nobody cares.
It was like,
Nobody
get out
cares.
of here. It was like, all right. It's like, that's nice. It was like, oh, good for you. It's not going to clap and sit there as like, oh, great. You should have waited to save this for when they actually give out the Oscars for stunt awards because you ain't getting it for this. So,
No.
I was like, I don't care. It's like, if
So
it's in the movie, I
Seriously,
was like, wow, that's impressive. But no, it was like, I don't. They're like, so what?
seriously, I understand he wants to prove to himself that he can do certain things, but at some point it switches over from being, I want to see if I can do this to just absolutely bad shit.
dangerous, right?
It just doesn't make sense on any level,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's what that is. So first of all, to have two wings close enough, right, requires at least two other people whose lives you just endangered for a movie. So no,
Well,
stupid,
I just
no.
think when the wing walkers say, no, we're good, and I understand you, wanting to figure out a way to push the envelope where when people say it can't be done, you still have that drive and determination to say it can be done. But to do it, like, we don't know if this was, I would hope that it was done safely. We don't know if there were we don't know if there was anyone who may have been somewhat injured or if it was, you know. But I would think with a stunt like this, when the wing walkers say, nah, you kind of beg off of that and either figure out a way to get the imagery that you want in a safer way, or you think of a different stunt. You know what I
Yeah, the
mean?
Windwalker said, no, you can't be doing this because we want to live. It was like, that's why we're not doing this. We're not trying to get killed doing this stunt. You running the risk. And him
Right.
just doing this, it was like, is it because they wouldn't let you do certain things to Top Gun with the $80 million plane? It was like, oh, I want to do this thing real quick. And
I
it was
want to
like, well,
fly
we
the
doing that with
plane.
special effects.
Right.
Like, well, he did. Like, he flew the planes, and that's
Right.
fine. But some of the scenes in the movie where like the planes are real close, it was like a lot of other pilots have come and says like, yeah, that's CGI because you can never fly that close. It's like you fly that close, you're not only risking yourself, you're risking somebody else and the plane itself and dishonorably discharge and everything else.
So
So
let me
like there's
ask
certain stuff. that,
So
it's like, that's great as a first, but now because you did it, if somebody else wants to do it and then they get hurt, it was, it was like
Yeah,
after a
he didn't.
while, it's like, well, they've
He didn't fly
tried
the
it
plane.
because you did it. Yeah, so
He
would
didn't
you?
fly the plane.
So
yeah,
let
he
me
did.
ask you.
They put him in a cockpit and let him fly
Yeah,
one
he
of those
was in the
all of those
cockpit.
planes.
He was
So
in the
what
back
they did was
seat.
they put a Maverick helmet on the actual
Want
pilot
him in the
when
back
they
seat.
showed him from behind,
Oh, okay.
and then they put him. They did that in this last movie too. They put him in the back seat, made it look like he was flying when the actual pilot was in the front. So yeah, no, they did
Oh,
not
okay.
trust Tom's ass to fly no F-18 Hornet. Tom, you want to
So,
fly today? You feeling good?
so let me ask you. So do you think so with this being the final installment for Mission Impossible, do you think that any potential future projects that he's involved in, he would take like similar risks? Like, are you hoping that first of all his future projects don't even have a lot of stunts that are necessary? Like,
He'll,
can we just do a simple move?
he'll
Like, why
probably
is he
do.
always
I think they'll probably do a couple other action pictures. They probably just won't be as big as this.
Mhm.
But it's like I can't see him like I wouldn't want to see Mission Impossible 9
Let's go back to
and
like
Yeah.
Jerry
Tom Cruise is
Maguire
not.
days or something, right? Like,
I don't even need to see that because he's doing
no,
another
I'm
Top
not
Gun.
saying to
So
do
there's going to
that.
be a
My
third Top Gun, but
No, but my thing is
just to
like,
do
can
something
it just
smaller.
be right? Well, not smaller, but something more simplistic, right? Or something where he's not having to have those stunts or whatever involved. No, no, Dennis, right? He does
I mean,
not
it's
look like
like
he's
He
40.
lost your
That's
damn mind. Have you seen him? Have you seen him lately? Look like he'd have had
no,
12.
baby, no.
Look like
I'm
he'd had
sorry.
12 ham sandwiches
I'm so
and just
sorry.
woke up. Okay, look like he just woke up. I don't know. I don't know.
We appreciate
I
you
don't know
for
what you see.
playing,
He don't
but
look like no damn 40. He got that Wicked Witch of the West massive pimple on his cheek
you
right there.
know,
He should go ahead and get lasered off because that ain't a good look. But no, there's no
mm-mm.
40. There's no 40.
No, no, no,
No,
baby. No.
nah,
Mm-mm.
40.
I
Sorry.
could
Nah,
see
you
him
nah,
being
Mm-mm.
in a movie he playing
nah,
somebody's hyperactive grandpa or something, but
Yeah, no.
I don't need to see
nah,
Uh-uh.
him
nah.
doing no other spy movies running around and stuff. It was like I was like, all
Tommy,
right,
stop running.
relax.
Stop running, fool. They always got his old ass
I'm
right
running.
running
You
sprints.
always running. Right.
It's fine though. It's fine. It's fine. Go
Mm-mm.
ahead and run, Tom.
No.
Go ahead
Mm-mm.
and run.
Mm-mm. All right. Mm-mm. I have a
Your old
second
ass.
Mission Impossible, you stupid, storyline. So reports are saying that when this movie hits theaters, it will need to break a franchise record just to break even in the box office. According to a new report by Puck, the budget, of Mission Impossible 8 is at least $400 million. The report shows the budget is due to several factors, including the pandemic, two Hollywood strikes, and Tom Cruise convention studio chief Brian Robbins for more money on the last installments due to inflation. So, do you think that they'll be able to get that with this movie? Well, I should clarify. Do you think that while it's still in theaters, they'll be able to get that with the $400 million with this movie?
Go ahead. Got it.
Mm, maybe. I mean, it's like the last one underperformed, they said.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, like coming out, and it's like and nothing really in the way, I don't think, of its release. It's like it might get it might take a minute for it to get there, but it's also could be something that tops out at like 250, maybe 300 million.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on what overseas markets it hits, it was like that's also gonna hurt. So I don't know. It's like I'll be curious to see if it gets to the 400 as like maybe something that the studio just keeps in the theaters over the summer as long as possible to eke every dollar it can before pulling it. But I don't know. Like that's a tough one to
Can,
get if like between inflation, like getting hit by so many things between COVID, the
right.
strike, and everything else, just making those impacts on it.
Right.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't.
it's,
I'm trying to think of
it's
the last
not a
time that I
guarantee
saw
anymore.
a
So.
movie. Right. I'm trying to think of the last time that I saw a movie cost that much. And I'm sure like there have been some recent ones that have come out that have been like that high or whatever, but a lot of them have had like a lot of, I'm going to say a lot of CGI. I don't know what this movie does and doesn't have as far as CGI, so I guess I'll wait until it comes out. Smitty, what do you think about the $400 million? Do you think it'll hit that while it's in the theaters?
Yeah, I think so. Tom
You think?
Cruise, he usually brings in a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And being perfectly honest, this is probably my most anticipated. Um, my most
Film of the.
anticipated. Yeah, because I love the first one,
Uh-huh.
so I can't wait to watch this next one. I don't know where these ridiculous goddamn prices are coming from for movies nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
400 million,
400.
400
Yep.
million to make a
Mm-hmm.
movie,
Well,
a goddamn movie.
well, keep in mind part of that is Tom's pay, right? So you got to pay him. You got to pay all the other actors in it. Um, and they're not cheap, right? So I don't know. 400
Just
million is a
that
lot, huh?
distribution, advertising, catering, all that
Do
stuff
they
is going to
need
add up.
advertising though? Like for real?
Yeah, it was like advertising. That's like those TV spots ain't cheap.
So
It was like
so are you
those
telling?
NBA playoff tie-in commercials. They not cheap. It was like all of
I
that
don't
stuff.
know. I
Like
think I think I think with the history of the franchise, people were kind of anticipating this movie. Like how much advertising do you really need?
it was like if you don't advertise it, it's like people like going no. It was like you'll have people that sit there. Oh, there's another Mission Impossible movie out. I don't know, and it's like you see an ad for that every 25 seconds. It
Well,
was
that's
like
true.
so you don't put nothing out there. You think word of mouth is going to get you to that theater? That's not going to happen. So you got to advertise on a
I
lot of
don't
this stuff,
know.
and who knows what social media advertising that they may have done is going to cost. But yeah, movie is still cheaper than Grand Theft Auto 6 though. So
Oh my good. Oh right, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that was really
oh
expensive.
yeah,
It was
so it
ridiculous.
was like I they may get to the 400. I was like I'll be curious to what this movie does. It's like I'll probably the one guy I used to work with, we used to gamble on summer box office stuff. So I'll be curious to see where it goes.
Mm, mm,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah.
That's all you got, Smitty? Yeah. All right.
Okay. They'll get my
Hang on.
$10.
I
So
want to see. I'll show you something real quick. I just want to
Oh.
see if yeah, we go. We'll see if this what 40 look like. That 40? That 40?
Terrible.
I don't look like no goddamn 40 I ever seen. Huh?
and that was 10
Goddamn
years ago.
40.
Oh my God. Stop it.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago. He was
Saggy start
55 back
cracking
then.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Dennis, but 40, nah. No, 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 no. He hasn't looked 44. Now I will give you that he has looked younger than his actual age for a while, but as of late, I'd say within the last 10 or so years, like it's really caught up with him. So, and I don't know if that's, excuse me, go ahead, Smitty.
Dennis Wright said he looked decent. I mean, I'm not arguing that point. You know what I'm saying? He's a handsome fellow. Pause. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that he don't look like 40. That's all I'm saying. You gotta meet me
No,
halfway.
no,
Okay?
he doesn't.
He don't look like no 40, man. That's all I'm saying. Huh?
He
You gotta
doesn't.
stop.
He doesn't.
I like Tom Cruise too. I like his movies, but nah, man. Nah. Nah. I can't wait for him to go somewhere and sit down. I like Tom a lot, but he gotta take a seat somewhere. What else you got?
All right. Jurassic Park Rebirth. This film is supposed to, yes, guys, reboot the franchise. by combining the stories of Jurassic Park. It said that that this installment is going to bring back the horror aspect of the original, even drawing inspiration from Spielberg's Jaws. Spielberg being the reason we have both Jaws and Jurassic Park. The new installment starring Scarlett Johansson teases the arrival of two new mutant dinosaurs, one called the Distortus Rex or the D-Rex, which features 6 limbs and lots of teeth. The film will also introduce the winged mutodons, which are a combination of pterosaur and a raptor. Rebirth is going back to humans entering the dinosaurs domain, and what fresh hell comes from that. Because of this, what we'll just say is it's going back to its roots, being the first Jurassic Park that everybody saw and fell in love with, which made them go out and continue to watch the Casanova, the Jurassic Parks thereafter. Smitty, we're going to start with you since Casanova seems thoroughly annoyed with this. What is going on? Go ahead, Smitty. You're being asked if you're asleep by Saggy Star. I need you to respond to the masses. Smitty, go ahead and start.
This was about what?
Jurassic Park, and it going back to the horror aspect.
The D-Rex.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
These stories write themselves. I don't know why you have to do stuff like that. Like they keep doing. They did that the last 3 movies. They made the Indominus Rex, and then they made the raptor, the black raptor with the racing stripes or whatever it was down his neck.
Right.
And then, who was playing tricks on people from inside his cave. And now they got the D-Rex. The D.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, it's cool. I don't care. Again, I don't care. Again, like I've been telling you, I don't care as long as the movie's good. And this looks pretty decent. It looks like they're getting back to the scary, getting away from the stupid comedy and the the dinosaurs inside the house type stuff, which was just stupid. So hopefully they get back to it, and you get to see people get chewed on for a little bit, and bring some of that fear back to the movie, which I'm looking forward to. So
I know I know you brought that up a few weeks ago that you weren't happy with very specifically the last 2 installments of Jurassic Park because of it seeming to be, I guess, more comical than the original. So
it was all over the place. They had a clone. That shit didn't go nowhere. Then they were selling dinosaurs on the black market. And then they was herding them. They was trying to get them to go back somewhere. And then all of a sudden they exploded. And they was all over, and dinosaurs was making nests on top of buildings. And I'm like, what is this shit? Who did this? And why?
Right.
So yeah.
Right. To satiate whatever you're seeking, I'm hoping that this kind of hits home for you or checks those boxes for you. Casanova, your response whilst reading my intro kind of says it all.
It's like I liked the first Jurassic Park. I liked the third one to a degree, if I remember the third one right. It's like I like that one. All of the rest of them after that, I was kind of just like, what are you doing? It was like, why? Oh, we first tried the amusement park and that turned out terrible. So let's try it again and have another amusement park. It's like they like the Empire, where it's like, our big death ball didn't work the first time. They blew it up. Let's make a second death ball. And it was like, oh, now we've been defeated and we're the first order now. Let's turn a planet into a big death ball and do that because that'll work out for us this time. It was like you did the amusement park thing. Then you got Chris Pratt training velociraptors, snapping his fingers at them, and they listening. It's like if you want to reboot it and you're trying to go back more to the first one, then that's fine. Like for everybody that's gone and has enjoyed all of these movies, I wish you the best of luck. I did not expect to be in the movie right now.
So
at
you're not
all.
gonna go to the
It was
movies
like
to
I
watch
got
it?
nothing. I am not planning on it. No. It was
So
like
are
I've
you
watched
even gonna
one
watch it when it
teaser and that's it. When it
do you
comes on
plan?
streaming, anything's fair game on streaming. It was
Right,
like
okay.
you hit you hit Peacock or Paramount, and I was like, well, there's nothing else to watch. I'll check out the Jurassic Park, and I might
Oh
be like, oh,
wow.
this was a pleasant surprise. I could have seen this in a movie,
It's
but
gotta get down to
as,
nothing else for you to watch.
He going. He going.
I'm not
He
interested.
going. He going right there with
Only
the
if you're
popcorn
paying.
and everything. I'll take a large
It's like if you're
$75
paying,
popcorn.
I get the $75 popcorn, the $84 soda, and you pay my $30 4D IMAX ticket. It was like I'm right there, Smitty. But I'm
Ugh.
not planning on going. But if the people say, "Hey, you got to go see this," then maybe I'll do that. But opening day or opening weekend, no. I was like, I'm not there.
Okay. Since we have a few more minutes, do you guys want to talk about Bambi or do you want to talk about Young Guns?
I want to talk about Mobland, and
That
but I'm not
mm-mm.
gonna. I really
Okay.
want to talk about it bad though,
Okay. All right. Well,
but I'm not gonna.
I know.
Save
It's
that for
good.
Thursday.
Yeah, it's all right. So, but my
We got to give people
question,
something on Thursday.
Casanova, which one
I
would
don't
you
know.
prefer to talk about?
Ugh,
All right,
God. Ugh.
Bambi, I heard
Pick one.
great. Bambi the Reckoning, directed by Dan Allen, written by Felix Salten and Reese Warrington, is a low-budget production which was announced in November 2022 about a live-action horror film based on Bambi following the likes of Winnie the Pooh, released in 2022.
Bambi
I have
Rec-
seen conflicting information when and where this is to be released. Some of what I've seen shows it's due to be released in the US July 25th. The storyline is after a mother and son are involved in a car accident, they become the targets of a terrifying hunt. Traumatized by the loss of his own mother, Bambi undergoes a horrifying transformation, becoming a mutated and vengeful creature. Driven by grief and rage, he seeks revenge on the surviving mother and son, leading to a deadly game of survival in the woods. This dark and twisted retelling explores themes of grief, revenge, and the dangers of nature. So,
Yeah, I'm looking at the trailer now. It looked like some bullshit. It looked like some bullshit. I don't even know why they wasted their time on this mess. Yep. Bambi, The
the
Reckoning.
reckoning,
They did the
yes.
same thing. If you
Winnie the
guys are
Pooh.
unfamiliar, they did the same thing with Winnie the Pooh,
Mm-hmm.
and they did the same thing with Popeye. Now I haven't seen the Popeye one. I saw bits and pieces of the Winnie the Pooh one. It's supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
where Christopher goes away to college or something, and he meets a girl, and he wants to bring her home to introduce her to Winnie the Pooh, but they were all pissed off that he left, so they just started tearing people to pieces. I don't know who thinks of this stuff, man. Who thinks of this mess?
so so I'm curious what our viewers think. Saggy Star is not happy, it seems, about this. Oh wait, she says I need to watch that. Um, okay, well,
Mob wife or mob life? Mob land? Mob land.
Mobland.
Mob
Who's
land.
oh, that's what she's
Mob
talking
land.
about is Mobland, not
Yeah.
not
Yeah, that was
Mob
her
wife.
last comment.
I apologize, Saggy. Yeah, so I don't plan on watching this. I have
Yeah.
not watched Winnie the Pooh, nor have I watched Popeye.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I understand that there are some people who may find it entertaining, but I cannot, for the life of me, I guess
No, I ain't
switch
watching
my
that.
my brain to be like, oh, Bambi is a murderous. Like I just can't get there. I can't. Casanova, what are your thoughts on this nonsense? Thoughts on this nonsense.
I didn't like the original Bambi. I'm not gonna go out my way to see this. Like no. It was
What
like I
now?
see
Would this
what
be something
so
that you
everything
would
hits
watch
public
on?
domain and it just turned everything. That's it. No,
I'm
I will not see this. I will
Not
not.
even on streaming.
I
Not even gonna
refuse.
waste your. Okay.
No, it was like it's
Okay.
I would not waste, but I would not. I would scroll past that. It was like, oh, there's that Bambi movie, and I would scroll past it. It's like I would not
There's
watch it.
that Bambi movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know why. I don't even know why this is
But
getting
yeah.
brought up. I mean, I get it. It's movie news, and this is so trash. They got to stop this. Okay, don't let this be a trend. If y'all out there and y'all
It was like
watching this,
public
if you're one of
domain.
the 9 people who's tuned in right now, and you were the director of this, please,
Mm-mm.
please,
That's not it,
please, for the
sir.
love of everything holy,
Stop it.
please stop making these goddamn
Just
movies. Please,
stop it.
do
Stop it.
something else productive with your time. That's all I'm saying.
All right. I wonder how you even decide to come up with something. Like, are you just like spitballing, like and you're just
I
like,
feel
I
like
got it,
Yeah,
as
that's
soon
guys.
as
it.
something, yeah, it's like I feel like as soon as one of these things hits the public domain,
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, oh, let's go in the exact opposite of what it was the first time, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll be edgy and funny, and then
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what the rush is. So it's not edgy, it's not funny. It's like if you were
Mm-hmm.
gonna do it and make a good movie out of it some kind of way, which I don't see how with this, but yeah, it's just stop it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that is, I mean, other than the Young Guns topic that we can move to next week, I don't have anything else to talk about tonight. So and
So
we've hit our hour, guys. Don't forget Andor. Last 3 episodes dropped this evening. I
yeah.
apologize, Smitty. Go ahead.
Before we go, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the content, we really appreciate you subscribing. Most of you who are watching are not subscribed, and that's all right. You know what I'm saying? Just leave a like, helps us out, so we get moving in the right direction. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. Now, since Mission Impossible is coming out this week, I'm going to go watch it Friday with a friend of mine.
Next week.
And
Is
is
it
it
this
next
week or
week?
next week?
23rd.
God damn it! All right, well, I guess I'm not. Well,
Smitty is eager.
I'm trying to watch these movies before they come out, but I promise you, man, my days are just so full of stuff. So I'm telling you, I'm gonna watch these movies on Discord before this thing comes out. Okay, I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna let you know when I'm doing it. I promise. I'm telling you, I promise. So we can watch these movies together before the next one comes out. All right, except for 3 or 2, whichever one he's on a motorcycle. I'm not watching that shit again. I'm not watching that again. Okay, so we're gonna do it. All right, we're gonna do it. That's what it is. So y'all have a blessed evening, and I will see y'all on Discord soon. Yes, Saggy, really doing my best here. So no, seriously, y'all be good. We love you. Y'all got anything? Casanova, you got anything?
No, everybody be good. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, or you're gonna be sentenced to watch that Bambi movie. Nobody wants that, so definitely hit the like, share, and tweet people.
You are terrible.
No
All
doubt.
right.
Y'all be good. I'll see
All
y'all
right.
later.
Cheers, guys.
Peace, everybody.